Call this meeting of the Commissioners to order. Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. We will begin with the minutes of our previous meeting.
Move to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve minutes of the January 17 regular meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Jane, do we also need to approve minutes from the special meeting we had?
Yes.
Okay.
Move to approve.
One second.
Okay, motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the minutes of the special meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. First thing on our agenda today is bid opening on the air handling system at the jail. And we have received one bid from North Mechanical. We'll open that. Start with this thing. See what you learn from that. All right, here's what we're looking for.
The balance sheet.
That's the bottom line right there. Okay, this is a complex project and a complex bid. The total amount of the bid as it has come in is $831,500. We'll have to review and submit this to the engineers at DLZ, and they want to review it and give us a recommendation on it. And I'm sure there's plenty of adjustment left in this bid. This is a project that started out 3-4 years ago at $428,000. So now it's $831,500. And where it goes from here, we don't know exactly what yet. So, and this is the only bid we have.
look at it and give us their recommendation.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to take the bid from North Mechanical under advisement and turn it over to the engineering firm DLZ for their advice on this. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Okay. Next thing is Probation Department, Ryan Siggers. Ryan, there you are.
Hello. I'm just here today to seek approval from you all of a consulting agreement between the county and Jenna Turner, who's agreed to help us out with some pre-sentence investigations until we can get some things squared away with our department.
Okay, here's the actual contract. Ryan, if you want to, you can explain to everybody in the listening audience why this contract is all of a sudden necessary.
Yesterday, Lawrence Smith, who was a probation officer with us since 1985, passed away very unexpectedly. He has an extremely busy job. He writes all the pre-sentence investigations for both courts. He writes anywhere from 75 to 100 a year. Each one takes multiple days to write between interviewing, doing background checks, all the paperwork that's involved, interviewing people, hearing back from victims. They're 30 to 40 page reports. He has 10 due between now and the second week of March. It's something that we just couldn't couldn't take that burden on ourselves. He was kind of, I can paint your portrait, but just Picasso's gone, you don't want me to do it, you want him to do it. He was just the master of that. And it was Jenna's job many years ago before she retired, and she was gracious enough to say if we needed any help to let her know, and so that's why we came up with kind of a part-time, as-needed kind of position for her to help us until we can get back up to full staff, and back up to speed, and get someone else properly trained on how to do these. So we would just ask that you keep Lawrence's family in your thoughts and prayers at this time, because it was very unexpected.
Okay, well, my sympathy certainly goes out to the family of Lawrence Smith. He's been with us a long time, and I know that he was a very important part of the probation department. And his untimely death has certainly left you guys in a lurch over there.
Yes.
Has Jeff looked at have you looked at
I don't have any issues with the contract from that, from any standpoint of any legal issues.
Okay, I think we should make a motion then that we would accept that agreement between our and Probation Department and consulting agreement with Jenna Turner.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale to approve and accept the consulting agreement between the county and Jenna Turner to pick up the, what do you want to call this,
Case
Ryan?
Pre-sentence investigation, report writing.
Okay. And this is obviously going to be a temporary
Yes.
thing.
I need to get someone hired, and I don't know how we'll handle training. If Jenna would be willing, if that person could kind of shadow her while she does this, if we have to come back with some kind of additional or something, so we can make sure we can pay both of them at the same time. But what we were paying for Lawrence's salary and everything that we had budgeted already is just a little over. That is a little. If she worked an entire year and did every single PSI, what you're paying her, and that would use maybe half of his salary that we already have budgeted for. So I'm hoping we can kind of make that stretch. get everybody trained and not just me, because the court has been more than gracious with us, both courts willing to help us in the way they can, continuances and things, but that just pushes it down the road. That doesn't do any of the work for any of us. So as fast as we can get somebody trained in that spot, because the hearings don't stop, justice still needs to be served just because we have a tragedy. I'd like to get somebody hired, trained alongside, hopefully somebody like Jenna, or the contract expires if we have to step in and help her. It's just something that I've only done them for juvenile cases when I did juvenile probation. Jenna and Orland did them. They both retired last year, and Lawrence was doing them full time. Nobody else has done them in our new system except for them. So it's kind of, you never want to plan for something like that. It's going to happen kind of behind the eight ball. So try to figure out how to get somebody hired and trained so that Jenna can kind of step away. She's loving retirement. This is just something she wants to do to help all of us, because we see each other more over there than sometimes our own families. We're all very close. So we all hit pretty hard yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any further question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. 3 ayes, James. Here's one with my signature on it. And let us know if you need anything else on that, Ryan. Was there anything else you needed today?
No, that's all for today. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Sheriff Jones.
Hello. I believe you guys have quotes for the carpet and the flooring inside of our jail on the admin side. We got a quote from Wholesale and a quote from Foles. Foles is putting down vinyl planking through most of the hallway in our squadron and some offices, and then carpet in a few of them. And then Wholesale, they have some sort of vinyl material that comes in huge rolls. They say that's the best stuff they have, and the quote for that is from Wholesale, and it's actually cheaper than the one from Foles. We're hoping that the labor on this looks like from Wholesale, it's around $7,000, but they claim they can do it pretty quick. And I know there's been discussions about having Josh do it. He says that he thinks he can do it, but it's not going to be as good as what Wholesale does, because that's what they do for a living. And Wholesale also provides, it looks like a 10-year warranty. Anything messes up, they say they can come down and hopefully fix it. And they're going to leave a little extra, the carpet tiles for some of the offices. If you spill something, you can just pull the tile up, put it down, and I guess they'll do that also. So it's my recommendation to go with Wholesale, just because they're saying that the vinyl that they have is superior to what Foles has. Of course, Foles is saying theirs is superior, but everything we've heard, I guess this is what they put in probation in the bathroom, and it seems it's holding up pretty well, I guess. And if we have Josh do it, it's going to take him a while, and we have a lot of traffic in and out of our offices. I would hate for it to be a month-long project when Wholesale can hopefully knock it out in a couple days. But that's up to you guys to decide, I guess.
Do you have a price between both of them, what the quote was?
Yeah, the quote from Wholesale is $18,250, and the quote from Foles is $19,339. The tiles and since I think you came over, we're missing about 3 more tiles in the hallway. They're just starting to pop up. I'm not sure what's causing it, but over the last couple of years, everything's just starting to pop up and tear up on us. When you walk on it, you can hear it cracking. So it's the original flooring in the jail, to my knowledge, and that was back in '89. So I think it's time.
Yeah, I came over and looked at it, and it is showing its age, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, Josh, have you got other things to do besides put down flooring?
Absolutely,
Okay,
yeah. It would be in everyone's best interest if I did not do it. I'm not a homeowner.
You're not gonna give us a 10-year warranty on your work?
Absolutely.
You like
and I'll bet there's nothing in your budget that can pay for this, is
There is nothing in our budget. I've been told that you guys have a budget for remodeling buildings. I guess that's what this technically would be. So if we can take it out of that, I would really appreciate it. We don't have enough in our commissary, so we don't have this much money laying around.
Okay, well, I'll make the motion based on Zach's recommendation that we go with wholesale carpet for the floor covering, and it has the warranty with it, and we would be using that remodeling budget for those expenses.
How much money is in that remodeling? I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to approve the quote $18,250 for wholesale carpet for the replacement of carpet and floor coverings in the administrative side of the jail. Is there any further questions? All those in favor?
Question.
Oh,
Does that have to, does he need to go before council then and ask to move
No,
that?
because the money's already been appropriated.
That was in our capital plan. Any further questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane.
It's actually in Cuban Cap,
That one's in Cuban Caps?
remodeling costs,
Okay, I'll stand corrected. I know that there's also something in the capital plan too.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You got
Next,
anything else to report?
Next thing, one of the vehicles, the 2 new trucks that we have, we got them marked. One of them is at Kevin Perry's house right now. He's just showed me a video of half of the lights that he's put on it. So he's halfway done with that one. We're hoping to get that on the road pretty quick, and then he's going to take the other one and get that one outfitted. We're still waiting on a cage for one of the vehicles. The sheriff's department has always just had trucks that have radios and some stuff in it. I'm trying to make them look more like police vehicles because just this week somebody jumped out of a window of a police car and took off. So having those cages, we don't want to end up like Union County where our truck gets stolen. So getting cages in these vehicles is something that we're going to try to start doing. It's a little extra money, but as far as embarrassment and safety, you know, we're going to try to do that. So hopefully those will be done pretty soon. I'm in negotiations with Reedman and Tim Schnelly. There's money in the budget for vehicles. With the price of trucks now, we can't afford 2 new trucks like we've been getting. So I'm looking at getting a Durango and a truck this year. There's one up at Reedman's Schnelly's that is priced decent, and it's a nice vehicle. And Reedman's has one coming that they've been looking for. They're not sure the price, and they're not sure what condition it's in because they haven't done their inspection on it yet, so we're waiting on that. If we make a decision, again, not sure how this works. Do I have to come back to you guys next month before we can buy it, or can I have permission to go ahead and buy it, or how does that work?
Well, what you normally do is come in here and tell us what kind of deal you're getting.
Okay.
You say this is a new,
These are used.
used, okay.
Yeah, we can't afford new with the
Alright.
money we have. The Durango, like I said, I think the newer vehicles and the nicer vehicles should be on the road for patrol because they're the ones driving to people for 911 calls. Me, Chad, Joey, Dan Becker, we're going to have the older vehicles that we're not going to be driving 90 miles an hour to a call. So this Durango that we're trying to buy will either go to Joey or Dan, and then their vehicle's going to be replaced and go to somebody else. I was hoping Reedman would have the information on the vehicle. He gave me a little bit, but he doesn't have the inspection done, so he doesn't want to give us all the information on it, I guess.
Well, let's see what he says.
Okay.
Now, we did get a couple of recall notices on vehicles. I brought those over and left them with Chad Blaze the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure one of them was on one of the brand new vehicles that we had bought.
That wouldn't surprise me. He told me about him, he's got him, and he was going to look up the VINs and see who needed to take it up and get it replaced. Because it seems like anytime you take your vehicle there, there's a recall on it. We took one of them up just a few weeks ago and they had 3 recalls on it, so we'll get it taken care of.
Well, if there's not a recall on it, it's not new, is it?
Yeah, even brand new 2022. Of course, they are they're a year old and we just got them, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Have to change the VIN to make it newer.
Yeah, scratch it off.
If you buy another truck, will you have any to move on down, or will that go out to another?
If we get another truck, again, Reedman, he's already placed the order. He said whether we buy it or not, he'll be able to sell it. So he's already got it in route. Again, 6 months probably. But adding the 2 deputies, sort of, we're running out of vehicles. So I think if we get the Durango and a new truck, that should give us 1 spare, which Danny Hill is driving around in an old Durango that's got about 240,000 miles on it, no heat. We got to put him in something. It doesn't have to be amazing, but he's got to be in something. So eventually that Durango is going to give out. So we'll have to keep something for him.
With your 2 new hires, you just have 1 more spot open?
1 more spot. We're taking applications until I think the end of this week or next week, and then we'll start the process on that. And we've got some decent applications so far, so we'll see where that takes us. Anything else? All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. 911 Director Kelly Van Meter. Here was the 144 request.
Hi, guys. Okay, so I've already turned my 144 into Jane for all of them. So I've hired 3 new people. Kyle McCoy, he comes from, he lives in Cambridge. He works currently for Muncie's Dispatch Center. So he's only been there since September, but they've done all the training basically, and we just have to teach him a little bit about what we do here. So otherwise, he's kind of a shoe-in for dispatch already. So that was a plus when we got his application. And then Cassandra Elshelman, she's just applied for the job. She's going to school for different things that this job could also come in handy with, as well as her schooling will help her with this job too. So she's brand new to the job, so we're from day one just teaching her. Tracy Brown, her husband works full-time on EMS. I mean, you may know Scott, I guess. She is a nurse, an RN. She works full-time at the VA hospital in Indianapolis. However, she doesn't really need the job for the money. She just wants to do the job. That's kind of so those are my 3 hires. I did have to terminate a couple of part-time dispatchers for what I would say ended up being unbecoming of a dispatcher. Could not be in that position any longer, so they were both terminated later in January. I still do need to hire some people, but I'm kind of holding off on just having the 3 right now. You know, just it's hard. It's very crowded with 3 being trained in that area that we're in. But I do want to get these guys trained and running because we do have full-timers that have paid for vacations coming up, and our manpower right now is pretty shoddy. Like, I'm on radio today, but I pulled somebody in to work radio for me while I'm here. I'll be there late working radio tonight.
Now, since these are part-time positions, Is, if they should choose to, could any of these three eventually become part-time for you?
No.
Okay.
Basically, like with Kyle and Tracy, we are going to compete. You know, the thing of having the higher end, and it's it's just a part-time job. So no, you can't really live off the part-time job. Okay, it's not just the money per hour; it's the job part-time. But so Kyle has a full-time position at Muncie's PD for their dispatch. So we'll compete with his schedule. You know, obviously we'll be the person that has to accommodate for whatever he's doing there, as well as Tracy Brown. Now, what she's telling me is her schedule is 1 full week in Indy, and then she's off a full week. So we'll, you know, for 1 whole week, every other week, we'll be able to use her in our part-time slots. But that comes to be what we do a lot of, like Jane Sparks, that's been there for years. She works full-time for Rush County. We can only use her a few days a month because we're accommodating for whatever her full-time is. Same with Kalen Crumpton. He used to be full-time here, but he went to Rush County full-time, so we accommodate for his schedule too. So we have a lot of, not a problem, but we have lots of ways that we have to place everybody to accommodate for their full-time positions and when they can work our department. And it sometimes makes it a little bit rough. We have one, Malia Dye, and this Cassandra, she does not have an outside job. This is her only job. And I would say Malia would be who would go into full-time if we ever got a full-time, because she's already, you know, we kind of hire within as they go in there. And Malia's stronger by the day. She's doing pretty good. So she was our other part-timer that we hired back whenever. But she came actually, Malia came out of Jason Cloyd's class out at the vocational. So that was really, I think that's really cool. Jason called me and gave his thumbs up for me, and she applied, and she's actually proven that the class that he taught worked because she caught on pretty quick. That being said, I am still going to try sometime, I'm going to try this year to do a full-time position in there. I'm still working the numbers and seeing what I can do, but either before or by budget time, I'd like to figure out if I can afford 6 full-timers plus myself and not make me the 6th full-time dispatcher, because my office work suffers dearly when I can't be in the office and I have to be on the radio.
Okay, anybody got any more questions for?
I'll move to accept the 3 144s.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the 144 request at 911 for the hire of Kyle McCoy, Tracy Brown, and
Cassandra Eshelman.
Cassandra Eshelman. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Is there anything else, Kelly?
To update all 3 of you on the MDT program that has been put, you know, way far back in the wings of state. I have physically I've sent email and I have physically called them, and we are on the ball. They just sent me some stuff in the mail that I can have the officers fill out. I've got to get some fingerprints from the new deputies and whatnot to send them up there. And then I'm going to say by late spring, early summer, the guys should be in their MDTs. And it was just a fact of the liaison for our department was Debbie Cook. And she passed away, and so that we submitted like in the pandemic time, and state sent all their workers home. So that put everybody at a stop. We aren't the only county that's been on hold like this. It's whenever this happens, like it's just in the hands of the state. Nothing I can do. I have to just bide my time and wait on them to decide. I've actually now got a person there that found all of my information that I had submitted on Debbie Cook's desk. They apparently have not cleaned it off, according to them. And we are in the ball rolling now. So we're moving on with that.
Okay.
Other than that, I just wanted to update all 3 of you at the same time on that. So,
Thank you.
okay, have a good day, guys.
Okay. County Clerk Don Hughes is here for a 144 request.
Sorry, guys.
You get to buy lunch today.
It's
all right, it happens. So I have a couple of things. I have the 144, oh, yeah, I just didn't write down the names, I'll hand it to you in a second. I'm asking for, I got two full-time openings in my office. Marilyn retired and they've got to replace me. And then a full-time, or a part-time, excuse me, and they had to, we never really placed that when I went full-time in August. So I have Sandra Kunkel, Patricia Barrett, those two are the full-time. And then Christina Wells, she goes by Maria, as the part-time. Maria's going to school for criminal justice, so she wants to kind of get, she is going to be helping with voter registration, but she's going to school for criminal justice. So she's wanting to kind of get her foot in the door and learn some things. And Patricia and Sandy both, Patricia lost her husband in the pandemic, and she wants to have a full-time job. She did work with foster children, so she kind of understands the privacy of that and everything. And then Sandy has an older daughter that's now driving, so she wants to find something to do, and I think the hours would be great. I think she'd be a great asset, team player for our office. They all did really well. I had lots of applicants. I'm going to pass down the applicants to the probation or prosecutor's office, the ones I didn't take, so that they can look at those numbers. But I think we had lots of great applicants. Really hard to choose.
That's unusual.
Very well. I was really scared at the beginning of the year because I had like 3. So I was really blessed. After like the second week of January, I had lots of applications. I still actually got a resume yesterday from somebody, so which was nice. So, but I think all 3 of them would be a great fit with my wonderful team upstairs that has worked above and beyond being short-staffed since the beginning of the year. They come in early sometimes. Not on the clock, but they come in early to help. So, to get stuff done, which is great. And I've got people doing things they've never done before, which is fantastic too.
Their salaries all within your budget?
Yes, they're in the budget. They're the same. Yes, they're in the budget as well. Yes.
I'll move to approve the 3 144s.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have let me read those names again, Jane. We have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to approve the 144 request for the clerk's office for the hire of Sandra Kunkel, Patricia Barrett, and Christine Wells. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Thank you. I hope
Thank you. Me too. I hope so too. I'm excited. So they come tomorrow, I think, to meet with Haley, with the HR. So they're excited. One of them messaged me all weekend, and she says, "I can't wait to start." So that makes me feel really good. So we can get up to speed. Also, we talked last time about the hours, switching the hours in the office. I sent an email, but I wanted to give you guys actual copy too, if that helps. I know I'm a physical person. I like to see things. So right now the hours, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday are 8:30 to 4. Wednesday's 8:30 to 5. And then Thursday we are 8:30 to 4, but we close to the public at noon. We're the only staff on that second floor, which is okay. I mean, it's not a big deal, but usually the title companies come in. I did talk to them, told them that we are looking at changing the hours. Everything seemed to be great with the title companies. They said just let us know in advance when, but they know that if we're going to be closed, that they'll come and adjust their schedule, because I think she said downstairs closed at 2 at some point in time too, so they were perfectly fine with that. So what we're asking for is to change the hours to 8 to 4, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Friday 8 to 5 on Wednesday, and then 8 to 12:30 on Thursday. Still the same hours, amount of hours worked. Just would be better to be on everyone else's schedule. They could do personal things Thursday afternoons. If they need to, instead of using PTO time or vacation time.
What about the walk-ins that come in on Thursday?
We don't get any walk-ins. We're close to the public at noon.
Well, since I've been here,
Yes, sir.
I've encountered a number of people over time out here in the hallway needing help from the clerk's office. In most cases, I've been able to make a call and get them taken care of and get them in. But if you're not in the store, you don't know how much business you've lost. Those are the people that will be inconvenienced that I'm concerned about.
Right.
If we're not in the store, we're not serving the people that we're supposed to be.
Well, the only thing I can think of is I've been here since last January, and of course I was part-time until August. I've not known anybody to come in on Thursday afternoons when I've been here, or since this last year, so I don't know how much that would affect. But as long as we keep the hours posted, we'll post it on the website, we'll post it in our office. You know, we can do a voicemail that says those are the hours. I think as long as we get the public informed that that's what the hours are, most of the time they'll come when the hours are open. And obviously, we're the only ones on that second floor, so when a lot of times the lights get shut off when we're on that second floor. No one knows we're up there on Thursday afternoons, other than, of course, the title company. But like I said, I've informed both title companies that we're wanting to switch the hours, and both of them said just let us know what the hours are and what the date will change, and they were perfectly fine with that.
What are we going to tell the next office that comes and wants to eliminate Thursday afternoon? Because I'm sure this will come up.
Has everyone already operating with this closed to the public anyway, Thursday afternoons? They're open.
The circuit court closes at noon to the public, and Superior closes at 1. But Superior's actually technically not even up there on Thursday, open to the public, and they leave at 1.
We have no control over the judges. Those are
Right, but we work with the judges. We work with that's like our main people we work with. So obviously we want to stay on the same schedule as they do, because we do a lot of stuff for them.
Well, the courts are your biggest customer,
Correct.
for sure. But there's more to it than the courts.
Correct.
That's keeping the availability of.
Correct. And I've learned too through the election, if you're here earlier, a lot more people get stuff done first thing in the morning. So us opening at 8 may be advantage of someone taking their kid to school, and they can stop at 8 instead of 8:30 or 4 o'clock. So I figured we're coming in at half an hour earlier every day. That way we're available to people, because I know me, I get up, I get moving, and get the stuff done that I need to, especially when I come into town. So that's where I want to get those people as well, first thing in the morning.
Well, Don, my personal preference is to make the courthouse hours consistent throughout the building as much as we possibly can. And public service, number one on my list. I don't think that totally closing and vacating the office on Thursday afternoon extends our availability to the public. But I'm only one here. That's just my opinion about it. I would prefer that we, have the door open on Thursday afternoon, like we used to. But
Well, then if we do that, then we'd have to pay them more, because then we would be here, right?
no, you'd still be working the
Still
same.
working the same,
Same,
Gotcha.
working the same hours you
same
are now.
hours.
You mean change it to not being closed to the public like it already is, just staff working
Yeah.
from 1 to 4?
Well, when that started, the argument, I wasn't here then, the argument at that time was that Thursday afternoon was used for makeup work, following Wednesday, which was the heaviest workload day for the courts. I think since all the new electronic filing systems we have in your office now and everything, that workload is not as much as it once was. Do you think the need for catch-up work on Thursday afternoon is as heavy now? Well,
I wasn't here, but with me being short-staffed, yes, it is.
So, but if there's not that much catch-up work to do, then why not be open to the public on Thursday afternoon?
And I don't know that because I've never been here when we've been fully staffed, so I have no clue
Yeah.
about that.
But your thinking is, the purpose in what you're wanting to change this for has to do with the managing of your department.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. It does. It makes sense to make sure that, like I said, we're already closing to that's where they can make their doctor's appointments or whatever they need to do instead of using PTO or vacation time. And like I said, stay with the same schedule as what we do with everyone else on the second floor. Because obviously, we work all well together and do a lot of stuff for the courts.
So what do you think, Dilmerson? Are you gonna chime in?
Still think.
I want this too. I want this too.
You want that too?
So
Okay.
vote for me while you're at it.
Got-
Well, I guess as a person who's been a part of the public, I've always known you don't go to the courthouse on Thursday afternoon because everybody's kind of closed to the public. So I already had that understanding of that. So I don't see this as an extraordinary thing to be asking for. And if it would work for, even as you said, what are we going to say to other departments? I would say it's okay for other departments to do the same if they see fit in their own department. We have another department here that might like to share his opinion.
Our hours as is works perfect for us. We are open to the public on Thursday afternoons also. We get a lot of foot traffic. I wouldn't change a thing.
And would you have a problem with other departments that would be able to change or be different?
To be honest, if they're on the first floor, yes. The clerk's office, we don't really need to send people there much. It seems rare. We do have title searchers that come in after being upstairs and things like that, but as far as us sharing documents, we don't have that connection. So. Downstairs, the auditors, the reporters, treasurers, we all kind of interact. It's, one continuous loop, especially for title searchers or anybody bringing in self-disclosure, has to visit 3 different offices. So having one office closed or one or two, it does make a difference. So it's best for all of us to try to be available to each other downstairs. But
Well, Don, my sympathy here lies with the constituents. And that's just it. Personally, I'd rather see us open on Thursday afternoons throughout the building. The courts, however, are state courts. We have no jurisdiction over how they run our courts. But everyone else is. That's just my feeling about it. And I don't think that, if we allow the clerk's office to do this, I'm quite sure there will be additional requests from other offices very similar to this. I would prefer to leave well enough alone. That's just my opinion on it.
I think that,
When you say for consistency's sake, I'm just throwing in there probation, prosecutor, both courts, CASA, all do the half days on Thursdays. So,
And
like
they're all part of
surveyor, health department, like the rest of these don't. Now, my office is close to the public on Thursday afternoon. We're open by appointment. So if somebody's coming from Indianapolis, a title searcher or somebody, we will make an appointment. But as far as the walk-in, like that was done before I came, and I just left that in place. So like we are, when Jeff was talking about the continuous loop, we are close to the public. So
Yeah.
on Thursday
I
afternoons.
know your office.
But we're here.
You're doing catch-up work on Thursday afternoons, but you're in the store.
Yes.
You know,
also, when they are closed, if there's something that they need, we will actually hold paperwork, record it as the same, and we'll take it over the next day. We've got a pretty good communication system going on, I like to think, so it's not a big issue for someone to close. And plus, they're available by phone too, so it doesn't really affect us either when one office is closed in the afternoon.
Way to tell you we're available to banging on the door too, even after hours, right?
I saw that the other day, actually.
Yeah.
I will not.
Or for those who have my cell phone, yeah, I'm usually in there. after hours.
Bill, you're closed, or you're open Thursday afternoons.
Oh, yeah, we're open all the time.
But you and the health department
Yeah.
and ABC.
So we already have a little bit of variance, I guess, in our schedules, don't we?
And most of the people that we deal with, prosecutor's office, CASA, courts are all gone Thursday afternoon, it's just us.
Well, I think I've given my opinion. I don't want to, I feel like I go with, you're the one that's managing that department, and you know what you do, what your work is, and public would, if you've already talked to the title companies.
Yeah, and that's the
main
only one
thing.
really it would affect. I think it would be to morale from my office too, but that's another thing too, because they're all willing to come in. They're usually here by 8 o'clock anyways, most of them are. You know, they may not be clocked in and ready to work, but we're all usually here by 8 o'clock, so. They're like me, ready to get up and get moving, get the day started.
Would you be willing to try a 3 or 6 month trial and see how it works?
Oh, yeah, more than welcome to. That is perfectly fine. We can do it for 3 or 6 months and see how it works.
And if we get a lot of feedback, negative feedback,
Yeah.
then we would share that with you and.
I'll keep the signs and send them to the sign. We'll go back to the other hours then.
We'll try for 3 months
3 months? When would you like us to start that?
and whenever you're ready.
Okay. So just shoot you guys an email, let you know what the date is, and then go from there? Okay.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to allow the clerk's office a 3-month trial on proposed new hours. Is there any further question?
Yeah, I've got one for Jeff. By doing this, is if one of the other departments come in and ask to do this also, can we hold off to see how this works, or do we need to go ahead and?
I don't know, I'm unaware of any rule that says each office has to have the same exact hours. So I think you can do whatever you want, but you're gonna create
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of chaos for somebody who walks in that door to try to guess what's going on.
yeah.
But I'm unaware of anything that says you can or can't, that everybody has the same hours. There's nothing out there in my knowledge that says that.
And if we do decide to do this, I'll make sure it's posted everywhere, whatever I need to do in order to have Michael put on the website, whatever we need to do to let all these email the title companies and let them know.
The people
Other
who do
ones that we
business
deal with
with.
on a normal basis, and let them know what it is that we are planning on doing for at least the 3 months.
Yeah.
Any further questions? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, saying 2 ayes and 1 no. Okay. Is there anything else?
Yes, trustees. Finally got back with everybody for the trustee boards. Posey, of course, Suian was elected. Suian Flum was elected. Phil Stanley was on there as well, and he's willing to stay on the trustee board. But Amy Parks no longer wants to do it, so we need to reapply into place with her. And obviously, we talked about this last time, that you guys get to appoint the trustee board members now. So she's one that she said that she is not willing to come back. This is also the one where we have the the trustee passed away shortly after election. Mr. Bentley was supposed to get a hold of someone, and he did. Unfortunately, that person declined because she works for the USD government, so she can't work both entities at the same time. So he's at a loss. We're trying to figure out who to put in that position, and I'm talking with the state right now. We've actually been emailing back and forth the last 2 days about what I need to do in order to get that trustee spot filled for Posey. So we need to fill up the Posey board. And then Fairview, Geneva Gabbert was the one that was elected in that position. Lisa Sembach was the trustee, but she's willing to be on the board. And then Ms. Munson is on it as well. And I think she said she was okay with it. I can't remember. Yes. Sorry. Lots of conversations this last couple weeks between interviews and stuff. So that one's filled, so we won't really need to worry about the Fairview one. But the Posey one, we're gonna have to figure something out with that one, with the trustee board.
So how many do they have on their board?
3.
And they have two have filled it?
2 that's filled, so we just need to fill 1 on the Posey.
Now, is that required?
Yes, because they gotta have balance and numbers when they request or do the voting.
Because I feel like,
Yeah, it's gotta be an odd number for when they do it, so.
well, there may be
And it's
another.
not as big as community out in Posey to have, that's my hardest part, is it's not heavily populated, so
Right.
it's hard to find someone who wants to take on that position.
And there may be another need, I don't know, but last I knew, in Orange Township, they only had 2 people on the board,
Orange.
Township.
I know there's Tim, I'm trying to remember the names for the election,
It's,
Ed and Tim, and
it's
I'm trying to
Ed
think.
Harrell and Don Kirk. The woman, Miss Nobby, she left early because she became ill. I don't think that position, I think they've been
Did
operating.
they ever fill that one? See, I don't know, no one's told me about
I just assumed
there.
it was okay.
Okay.
But no, but.
No, that's fine, I can find out, I'm not quite
Okay.
for sure on that one.
And then the trustee is Mr., what is his name?
I don't know the names yet.
There it is.
Yeah, I know where he lives too, his neighbor. But I'll get with you on that.
Yeah, please
too.
do, because I'm not quite for sure on the Orange.
But I know they only have 2.
They only
Last
have
I
2.
knew, they had 2 people
Okay,
on the
I didn't
board,
know
so
that.
I just thought maybe this would be okay, this position here. with-
Yeah, no, I didn't know, so
Okay.
I will find out that one. I knew those 2 were the ones that Lisa had told me before I come in office, those were the ones that we needed to work on with the trustees. But I will find out that and get with you guys,
Okay.
maybe shoot you an email about it, let you know.
Dawn, may I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
So did I hear right that the Democrat chair has not selected someone?
He did select someone, but she declined, and that she just declined yesterday. So I haven't been able to talk to the Democratic chair.
Okay.
Because she was trying to check her position because she works for the USA. She can't use work for both entities. You can't work for that plus work for the county for that, and she just didn't feel comfortable doing both.
Okay, I do have a Republican who called me about it, and I said it was up to the Democrat chair to select for that trustee position.
Well, I'll talk to you afterwards, and then we can figure out something, because if he can't find anyone, obviously, we're gonna have to figure out
I
something.
didn't know what the procedure was. She asked if they didn't find someone, what's the procedure? And I said, I didn't deal with that. I never had to deal with that.
Yeah, no, me either. So this is all new territory for me. So, but yeah, that's,
It's Shane Clifford.
thank you.
That's right.
It just takes me a little bit. I remember seeing that name. Okay, I'll give Shane a call and find out.
So are we supposed to appoint the ones you just named off now, or wait till you fill the whole?
Well, I think you can go ahead and appoint Phil, because he already is on the board, Stanley, and of course Sue Ann was elected. And then Lisa sent back and needed to appoint those 2, because Geneva was, so that way we're basically filled in Fairview, it was just Posey and maybe Orange that we need to deal with. So if you would appoint at least those 3, Phil, and the other 2, and then I can figure out, like I said, Amy just called me today and let me know she declined.
Jeff, should I abstain since the one is my wife?
Yeah.
All right, let me make sure I'm clear on this. How many current vacancies do we have in Fairview Township?
Fairview. We don't really have, well, 2. 2.
Okay. we have two
Which would be
vacancies.
Nina and Lisa Semback. Because they did not run, so they would just be appointed back to the same position. Nina would be at least.
Lisa and who?
Nina Munson.
Enan?
Nina,
Nina, okay.
Dale's better
And-
half.
I was gonna say it, but I didn't.
I'll plead the 5th.
Are they both willing to serve?
Yes.
If appointed?
Yes.
Okay. And what about Posey Township now?
Phil Stanley wants to stay. And Sue Ann Flum was elected, so all we need to fill is Amy Parks, who does not want to. She wants to retire.
Okay, was Phil Stanley elected?
No. Sue Ann was the only one elected.
Okay. Then we would have to appoint Phil Stanley also. right?
Correct.
And then the 3rd member in Posey, which is obviously declined, and we don't have anybody there yet.
No.
Okay.
Phil was gonna rack around, Sue-Ann was gonna rack around their brains type of thing and talk about it, but obviously we're having a hard time finding a trustee, so let alone a member.
Okay.
So we're just making a motion that we're gonna appoint
How
these
about
two
a motion
townships.
to make a couple of appointments in Fairview Township?
All right.
Take care of that one first.
Fairview would be Nina Munson and Lisa Simback.
Okay, is that in the form of a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to
Okay.
appoint those two.
I'll second your motion. We have a motion by Tracy, second by me, to appoint Lisa Simback and
Nina Munson.
Nina Munson. I'm having trouble keeping everybody straight here, to the Fairview Township Advisory Board. Is there any further question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
2 ayes and 1 abstention. That takes care of Fairview. All right, now Posey,
I'll make a motion to appoint Phil Stanley.
Second.
okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to appoint Phil Stanley to the Posey Township Advisory Board. Any further question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
Okay,
That takes care of everybody except
Except
the
for-
one remaining
correct,
vacancy on the Posey board.
yes. So I'm gonna reach out to a few more people to see if they're willing to jump on board, and then I'll have that name for you guys.
And I do know that with that position that I believe is still vacant on the Orange Township Board, it
Okay.
is also a Democratic position.
Democrat, okay, thank you. Open. Okay. I will find those two things out. All right,
Okay,
all right, thanks, guys.
okay.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Does it matter if it's a Republican, Democrat, or Independent, since it's an open empty position?
I'm not quite for sure. I'm gonna have to go
Get that.
pull out my Bibles up there and see.
Usually, if it was held by a Democrat, it would be, you would select a Democrat to fill the position, or Republican to fill a Republican
Yeah.
position.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's
why I
what,
said I
usually,
never had
usually
to
what it
use-
was, but it probably to keep it all.
Yeah, I never
Checks
had
and
to deal
balances.
with crossing over.
Right,
You-
what
Are
I-
you familiar with that, Jeffrey?
Well, what I'm thinking though is, I think it might be the party has the power to do it. I think they might be able to choose a Republican if they so desire. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, I think
Yeah,
if
I have a
they,
Republican that would fill the Posey
Right.
board, she'd be very good.
I think there's a chance that if, as long as the party's making the decision, I don't know that they necessarily have to have somebody that's,
Democrat
registered as a
or-
Republican or a Democrat over the last 2 terms.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give, so I'm not a chair anymore, I'm gonna give the.
I don't know that a chair would ever do that, but
Right,
Yeah.
I think they have that.
that authority to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will find this stuff out. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Okay, Don, yeah, here,
County Assessor Jeff Coleman.
that's who it is.
So feels like bad timing after our recent conversation, but as you know, we're open to the public during the courthouse.
All the time.
But on March 2nd and 3rd, I'm requesting to close to the public. My staff will be present and working hard, but I would like to close. It's a Thursday and a Friday. So Thursday was light traffic. Most people in Fayette County know that Thursday's not a good day to go to the courthouse, and so but then Friday I also would like to close. My purpose is simply to finish our standard operating procedures manual. We've been piecing together for 4 years. We have it all laid out mostly, but with the increase of the state's oversight, we're getting to that point where we just need to be able to hand them a document saying this is why we do what we're doing and how we do it. We get, it's a question that comes up in a lot of the submissions to the state. They want to know what our procedures are for this, what our procedures are for that. I've been able to anticipate this, so we don't have any issues. I just want to put it together in a better format that I can consider it to be published, and I could even just email them the whole document. So, but I think I need the undivided attention of my staff. Is the only thing holding us back. we can't get through a conversation in that office without an interruption, so, every day we have something new, that's the other thing. In the last 2 days, we've had 3 different types of building structures appear. That's never been named in any computer system anywhere, so we have to get creative and figure out what they are. Especially, the Amish are really good at building stuff that aren't, they're not according to pattern, you know, they have their own way of doing things, and it's like we don't have those in our system, so we have to get creative in what to call them, basically.
The dates again, I'm sorry.
They are March 2nd and March 3rd.
I know out by me, the Amish have built a phone booth. It's interesting.
That doesn't surprise me, yeah.
I think this is, so what I understand you're saying you want to do is work with your staff on coming up with your own, like your type of information to share with people about what you do in your office.
Well, it's more of an in-house document, but of course it's open to the public to look
Yeah.
at.
So that
And
they can-
it's to show the state. It literally looks like this.
Okay.
We have probably about 60 pages that I've already put into templates. And it just would be the best reference. We still do a lot of interrupting each other even. I forget how we do this, or what do we, or do we do this first or this first? You know, that kind of question comes up every day. So if we can get it in writing, we won't have to interrupt each other as
Yeah.
much.
You're doing a commendable work there.
Thank you.
I was thinking that's wonderful.
It's
Anyone in the future steps in, it's
Yeah.
going to serve a great purpose.
the first year I came in, well, I spent a year and a half in probation. And the one thing we did there was the grant required that we put together a standard operating procedure manual. So that was what I did over there. So first thing I come in to the assessor's office, I'm thinking the state's going to slowly work its way over to us, and we're going to need a standard operating procedures manual. So we started gathering notes day one.
That's really good.
So yeah.
Well, I'll make the motion that you can have your hours to work on that, March 2nd and 3rd, and close to the public on those 2 days, Thursday and Friday.
We have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to allow the assessor's office to close to the public Thursday and Friday, March 2nd and 3rd, for the purpose of in-house, we all call it training.
Part of it will be training, yes,
Okay.
cross-training,
All right.
publishing our manual.
Any further question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Is there anything else, Jeff?
I'm good to go, unless you have any questions about anything coming up.
All right, well, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you for your time.
Emergency Management Director Wade Walling is here. Wade, do you have anything today?
Just really briefly, just letting you all know too, I just got a notification for Wayne Fayette Union, there's a high wind advisory in effect starting tonight, 3:30 till tomorrow. So, you know, just pass that along to you. Real briefly, I just want to let you guys know, IDHS, Department of Homeland Security, has agreed to open up the EMPG grant for my salary, which will pay a 46% match. So previously, for this year, that grant wasn't applied for, but through my connections and talking with them, they agreed to go ahead and open that back up so I can apply. So I'll be doing that, and once that's done, I'll let you know. Tonight, at the council meeting, I'm going to be talking to them about vehicle appropriation. The USDA grant has been signed by everyone that needed to sign it and has been sent up to USDA. That grant will pay for 35% of the overall vehicle cost, so around $15,500, give or take. And I feel really confident that they'll award that grant. I've been working with the lady that manages it for our area. She's been very helpful and guided me along with that grant. She's very easy to work with, and she's made sure that I have all my documents, everything in top order to send them up. So, and then finally, the Local Emergency Planning Committee, I've stood that back up. That's legislated. And I've picked the members for that, and I've talked to all the members that are on that committee. We have our first meeting scheduled for February 16th. It'll be in my office on the second floor in my big empty room that will be empty, tables and chairs. Right now, Josh and his guys are painting it, getting it ready to set it up for meetings. But that committee will help oversee all the emergency planning that goes on in Fayette County. And there's representatives from all the public safety organizations in Fayette County, businesses, community groups, law enforcement. I've got a slew of 12 to 13 people, plus I've added Dennis Perkins, who works for Reed, but he's former Connersville CPD, and him and I went to school together. We work really well together as a non-voting member. And then I've also added Kelly Van Meter as the admin for the LAPC, who'll be doing our meeting minutes. So that's all I have for you. I'm not asking for anything right now, but I'll reserve that for a later date.
Okay, well, thanks, Wade,
Yep.
for that update.
Thanks. Any questions?
Representing Fayette County Transit, Nisha Whipper is here today. Nisha, what can we do for you?
Hello, everyone. I'm back again, briefly.
Okay, is it quarterly claims time?
Quarterly claims time.
Okay,
$119,675. We are requesting today.
is that for the first or second quarter? The third?
Third quarter.
Okay.
How much did you say?
$119,675.
Move to approve the request.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to approve the third quarter period request from Fayette County Transit in the amount of $119,675. Is there any further question? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes, Jane. Nisha, is there anything you want to share while
We're
you're here?
open Monday through Friday,
Okay,
7 to 6, as a matter of fact.
and you'll give anybody a ride that wants one?
Anybody that wants one.
Okay. Good
Your
deal.
child, bring along mom, dad, grandma, grandpa,
Okay.
aunt, uncle, just somebody. That's it for today, really.
Okay.
Anything else?
Not from me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Highway Department. Jay, do you have anything today?
Good afternoon. If you would pass that down to them. I brought along an application for you to look at. I'm going to bring him in, try him out in the garage with Moore's. He's working down at Derbyshire right now, doing mechanical work and driving one of the big rock trucks down there. He has to get his CDL license. We're going to give him a year to get it like we did the other mechanic.
Don't they have to have a CDL license to work
We
in the
require
garage?
everybody to have in case we use them out on the road. It's easier to have when you got extra people. If you need somebody to fill in, you can get somebody to fill in.
So we're gonna put him to work before he has a CDL license?
Yeah, he can get it while he's working. We'll just keep him in the garage. If we need somebody, we'll pull Moore's out. He's got his CDL.
Does that go against our recommendations for hiring people as a mechanic in the garage?
I don't think it
Does it
does.
require you to have CDL?
They just require you to have them, but we always give them a chance to get it. If they didn't have it, some of them will come in with Class B, and then they have to move up to a Class A. So we require Class A.
So if he's working on a truck, he can't get in it and drive it to see if it's gonna work then, right?
No, we have somebody that'll drive it and test it out. And I really don't think they could arrest you for driving it and checking it if you're working on it in the garage. For a test drive. I don't know.
What do you say, Jeff?
Well, where are you test driving it? On the roads?
Probably. It's the only way you can find out.
Depending on how lenient they are.
We might get in trouble for that.
We haven't counted, we don't have any roads that are just, that aren't roads.
No. Nope.
There's that little parking lot there, huh?
That parking area.
Yeah, you can't get up enough speed in that parking lot to tell them if it's doing something or not. Sometimes it's better to drive a little ways down the road. But we have somebody here, like I said, Morris can take it out and test it until he gets his license. He's had his license before, but he let it go because he wasn't driving a truck anymore. And he can see if we can get it back easier than just having to go to the school. So I don't know how that works anymore.
Can we just get him to get his license? I mean, since he's had them, it may be easier to get that done.
He might be without a mechanic for however long it takes him to get them.
Well, have you already been without one? I mean, you know.
But we let the last guy work while he's getting them. He went to truck after the opening opened up.
Are you saying you just want him to be able to listen to it, drive it, feel it?
He can work on it, test it, take the change brakes and stuff like that.
If he doesn't have a license, I would feel better if somebody else drove it and he just rode with
He
it.
can, that can be arranged.
Yeah, that's probably the better thing than him. I'm not real comfortable with him.
Okay, one of your former mechanics went to a truck driving position. And then this guy, you need to replace the mechanic that went to a
Yes.
driving job. Okay.
Yeah, it actually took him 2 years to get his license because of the COVID going on when he was trying to get it. Because he couldn't get anywhere to let him take the test.
Do we have, like, how many of in our positions for hire out there, are there several that aren't required to have CDL, or aren't they all?
All our employees are, except for secretary
Yeah, all of them except for a secretary, right?
and me. I don't have one anymore.
You don't?
I'm getting too old.
Is he a mechanic down at Derbyshire plus driving, doing
Yeah,
both?
he drives the rock truck in on the quarry down there is what it is. He works on their crushers and stuff like that.
He needs to get busy down there.
He'd be a good fabricator, he don't want to send so much stuff off to get it done.
Yeah. I'll move to approve Mr. Russell.
I will approve this if you can guarantee he's not in a truck.
Okay, we can do that.
There's liability in hiring a mechanic that could possibly hop in and,
Most of your mechanics don't have CDL license anymore. Unless you've got somebody that drives a truck and works on it himself. That's the main reason, because it's, everybody I know, they don't carry them because they're working in the shop, they don't take them out and test drive. They'll have somebody around to test drive them for them.
Okay,
okay, so,
is that a second? Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the this guy is ready to come to work?
He'll be in a couple weeks.
Okay, to approve the hire of Joey Russell.
And I'll bring 144 in when he gets ready to come in. I'll bring it in ahead of time.
Okay, as mechanic at the highway department. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. You want this back?
Yes, that's my only copy.
Okay.
and he knows that he is supposed to get his CDL license?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And he was told that to start with. Okay. Other thing I want to talk to you about, I passed you all along the quote on that distributor truck. They're wanting to know whether or not we want it or not. But they're not ready, it's not gonna be ready till probably August, I think. And I don't have enough right now. I've got about 200,000 in there in two funds. I had more than that, but I had to use the money to pay a bill I forgot I had. That right, King. But I don't know if we want to keep trying to work with the old one and use it. We've already, like I told Dale, we got 30,000 we put in the last 2 years just trying to fix it, have them fix it. That's not counting the oil we wasted on the roads and the gravel and all that stuff. I told them we need to take a ride out there and look at your road again. I need to send a broom out there and have them sweep it real good before we do it.
Can that truck be leased? A lease to purchase or
I
something
don't know
like
if
that?
they lease them or not. I've never heard anybody say about leasing them.
Need to find that out, if that's,
Maybe we could scatter that out over 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. I don't, can we do that? Scatter a payment like that?
Yeah, we can do that. But I'm just frustrated to death with this old distributor truck that we've got, that we've had every mechanical genius that we can find work on it, and
Yeah.
none of them can fix it.
wasted a lot of money. right
It
there.
starts out working right and then just quits right in the middle. You can see it going down your road where it stops every time.
Yeah, that's been a bad.
And I don't
time.
understand whether it's something in the wiring system on it because the old truck or what, or in the box that controls everything. But they went through all that stuff and said it was all right. So
Yeah.
I don't know where to go after that.
Now, this truck, the quote, that's the same company that
Yeah,
put this truck
they built
together.
they built that one when we got it the first time, and they're building this one from brand new. So it'd be a 23 Peterbilt, I think it was.
Well, for what they want for that, a new distributor truck, we don't have that cash laying
No.
around right now to do it.
I've got, like I said, I've got a little over 200,000 in my equipment fund and my vehicle fund, because I used part of that to pay the bill that I had paid. But you'd have to do it over 2 or 3 years to do it. And it will wipe out that fund. If you do it in 2 years, it'll wipe the fund out next year.
Yeah,
Then you forget about looking for a truck or anything down there.
and we already know we need to be buying
Yep.
some new dump trucks. Do you know of any place that leases those things?
Not right off, no. I don't know, like Stoops or somebody, I don't know. That quote that you got, how long was it good for, did he say?
How long are they good for?
The quote's good, how long the quote is good for?
They didn't give me no definite time. They just wanted to know whether or not we're going to take it or not, because they probably have other people that take it too. Who knows? They don't build them that often, problem.
Can't go pick it off the lot then.
I wonder if there's anybody around we could borrow one from when we needed one.
Our problem is we spray 20 foot, and most of them spray one side and then the other side. Because we got the new chip box that does the whole road at one time. And see, that's what got us on this one. We increased the bar size while they was working on it to cover the whole road so we could spray with it. And they guaranteed us it had a big enough front to cover it. But nothing has been right since.
Did they not guarantee their work?
They kept coming back. That's all I can say. They thought they had it fixed and they didn't.
Now, who is they again?
Southeastern Equipment.
I wouldn't have them work on anything else unless they can guarantee their work, that's for sure.
Well, they won't guarantee because you gotta remember the age of the truck too. So that's an 85 truck and it got a 20-year-old spare tank and everything on it.
Derek, you got any of them trucks sitting around up there in Hancock County we could borrow?
I'm 85 ago. Don't have one of those. I got rid of those.
That's kind of old, isn't it?
Yeah, we put a lot of money in that old truck.
Yeah, I'm kind of stumped on this right now, Jay. If we could find a little bit older model truck.
Well, it is. So what you find is about like what you got, because they keep them until they can't use them anymore, because they cost so much to replace. Isn't that about right?
All right.
They hang on to them until the last second.
Yep.
That's why we got the one we got. We should have been looking 10 years ago, starting looking for one, the way they cost.
Well, we was busy buying other pieces of equipment,
Yep.
I guess. We could have him just talk to these people and see if they, see what kind of terms they could offer on a 2, 3, or 4 year purchase plan. That'd be probably easier to consider than, since we don't have the cash on hand to do it.
Got about 35 years or so.
Yeah.
I can call and find out. Last time they used Kansas State Bank, if you remember, on the Traco and skid steer we bought.
Yeah. Well, I guess talk to them and see what they can do.
Okay. I'll call them tomorrow and talk to whoever I can get a hold of.
Yeah. Well, report back to us what they say.
And I did tell you that the brush cutter would be here 1st of May.
Yeah.
Okay. We're using the old one right now, trying to keep it working until we get the other one.
Yeah, I've seen where it's been out. Well, we've got plenty of work for the new one to do.
We got a bunch of cans we're gonna put in here. As soon as the weather turns, lets us do it. We're on 300 out there, 300 south, got some cans need replaced. We'll get them real quick. And I know I've got 14 or 15 cans I've got to order, not counting the ones we got on the lot. So we're gonna be busy once we start.
Okay, well, we want to be sure and get all the roads that are on this year's paving schedule.
Yep, that's what we're doing. We got them all marked, checked.
As soon as possible, yeah. Okay. You have anything else?
Now, I'm gonna have 3 employees gonna retire within the next 4 months, so we'll be looking for more.
Okay.
If you have anything for me, I'll try to answer it. Okay.
All right, thanks, Jay. Bill Mackey?
Yep, I just got one thing here. It's another change order for Bridge 90, except this one doesn't involve money, it involves time. It's an extension till the end of May, so the grass can grow. Because the grass has to be 70%. Here's what you'll need to sign, but there's it's for extension of time, because it has to be 70% grown. If it's not by the end of May, then they'll have to come in and reseed it, because it got seeded after November. And, grass isn't growing this time of year. So that's just an extension the state wants on there. Yeah, so they'll come back and check it in May, and if not, yeah, that happened. The bridge down on Village Creek Road, just before Alquita Road, it didn't grow that. When they done that, they had to come back in next year and reseed it. But this will probably be the same thing. It probably won't take over the winter, and you have 70% growth up there. So it's just time extension,
Yeah.
so nothing major.
Move to approve the time extension from Bridge 90.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the change order on Bridge 90, as presented by the county surveyor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, James. Them guys don't miss a detail, do they?
No. Everything else is done and complete, just waiting for the grass to grow.
They probably need the grass to grow though. It didn't start the erosion
Oh, yeah.
process there and mess things up.
Yeah, we got some matting down. You can keep that other part. I've got another one. If you want to keep that, I'll email you a copy of it. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Bill. County Attorney Jeff Wesling, do you have anything?
Not that we haven't covered.
Okay. Council Representative Vivian Heinrich is here. Vivian, do you have anything for us?
No, not at all.
Okay. The distinguished Dan Parker is here. Dan, do you have anything for us today?
Just a little.
You must have, he said here.
Cool Vivian. Just a few things that I would like for the commissioners to know, to be aware of. So good afternoon to the three of you, and also to Jane. She's an elected official, and our county attorney. You're not, are you? You're just a hired gun.
I'm a hired gun.
Okay. The business attraction efforts of our Economic Development Corporation have been going on at a pretty good clip. There has been a lot of activity, and not all of it coming from the state. In fact, I got an email, and then I placed a call to a guy in Indianapolis who's looking at Connersville because of its central location between, he didn't mention date, between Indianapolis and Cincinnati. I won't tell you the nature of the business because I don't want to start rumors about what may or may not come here, but what he was looking for was exactly what we have next door to Ivy Tech, the building that we sold 3 years ago. 3 years ago this coming October. So that was a good thing. And then another lead that came through our regional partnership that we've been members of for as long as I've held the job. Not a lot of attraction activity, I would say, over those years. A lot of other good things that have happened, from Ready Grant and other things, and Ready 2.0 is just around the corner, so I want Dale especially to know that. At any rate, I got more follow-up again on the building that we sold, the old D&M building, to this group, the Genovis group, working through the partnership. So that's a good thing that is happening. Plus, we are submitting a lot of replies back to the state. We're a little anemic on land, but we have located some out by the airport, privately owned. I won't share the owners' names for lack of starting more rumors and so forth. But there's some great opportunities that we're looking at. Another thing I'd like to mention to you while I'm standing here, this is tax season, and as you know, the Economic Development Group manages the enterprise zone for Connersville. And if you live, this is for the benefit of those that are watching or listening, if you live and work in the zone,
you can get some of your tax burden lightened simply by filling out a form. And that form can be, get that at the clerk treasurer. Rosemary Brown would be the person to see if you live and work in the zone and not taking advantage of this, you're leaving money on the table. You can reduce your tax burden simply by just completing a form. Beyond that, commissioners, regional activity is ramping up. I think there'll be a news story that'll come out here, I think tomorrow or Thursday, concerning the region, the Eastern Indiana Regional Planning Commission. I think it'll be a good story. We're very close on our SEDS plan that's been submitted to the EDA, the federal counterpart. The Economic Development Association is what the federal counterpart is, and so we're very close to unlocking some opportunities from a federal funding standpoint for all 6 of the member counties. And we haven't had that opportunity since the previous organization went down and was dissolved. So this is some good things. We compete with organizations that are very mature, 30 and 40 years old. Ours is 16 to 6, going on 7 years of age. So we're basically still in our infancy, but we're doing pretty well. That's all I have. Just wanted you to know how much we appreciate the county funding for the Economic Development Group. The county helps us with a critical part of our budget. They pay about a third of it. So you can do the multiplication and you can see how large our budget is. Thankfully, through the gift of the Ivy Tech building, we do receive some tax revenues, and all that together makes everything work. We still have to go back to the savings a little bit and kick in money because we operated somewhat at default. We're getting closer to being even so that we don't. Repairs to the Ivy Tech building, roof, heating, air conditioning units, on rooftop units, all very expensive, and all of them break down at the most inopportune moment. And you have to replace and buy them or say goodbye to the renter. So it's kind of a catch-22. You can't just sit back and think about what are we going to do. So my hope is the day will come when we'll be able to operate at an even. I think that's most nonprofits' goal, is to not accumulate a lot of money, but not lose money either. And that's where we'd like to be. Do the commissioners have any questions for me?
I've got one.
Go ahead.
He was talking about the tax relief.
Yes.
You said that they live, or is it live and work or live or work?
It's the two, live and work in the zone.
Okay.
In fact, I got a call from a gentleman who lives and works in the zone, and this is what prompted me to say something, because if there are other people out there that are living and working in the zone and not taking advantage of this, they're leaving money on the table. If it was me, I'd want that money. There's no sense just giving it away when you don't have to. And this is for their income.
Can you give a rough idea what the zone is?
It's tough without me pulling out a big map. It's south to about where the train mechanics work on the trains. Just up top of the hill, 3rd Street Hill, and then it heads north to about 21st Street. Then it cuts over and it cuts back. takes in all of
Downtown.
Conwell, the east side. It's a defined area, and it's not what you would think. It's not the whole town. If you live on one side of 21st, you're out of it. If you live on the other side of it, you're in. Same with over by Conwell and up that way, up by Maplewood School is another place where it ends. That enterprise zone was established for parts of our city that are falling on tough times. It's an incentive for businesses to land in the zone. It's really a nice thing for new business, and we use it as an economic development tool to try to attract businesses into the zone. And the income tax part is just another little byproduct. There used to be some other favorable loans through banks, but I don't think that that's part of it anymore. Banking is kind of a slippery thing to promise somebody, so we don't really use that. Good question, though, Dale. I appreciate it. Anyone else?
Actually, if you go to the in.gov website,
Exactly.
they have an interactive map, and you can type in your address, and it will tell you if you're in the zone or not.
Thank you, Jane. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
It is.
because I had emailed that to all the county employees because we are in the zone, and so all of our employees, that in case there was somebody that had moved into the zone that I was not aware of, I emailed them that map and that link, and asked them, so if anybody wants it, they could call our office, and I'd be happy to share the link.
What was it again?
If you go to in.gov, the Indiana website, and you can type in enterprise zone, and it'll give you the link.
So she said it twice, and this is recorded, so this is good.
Okay.
Anything else?
Could I have a question? Okay, I know the Ready 2.0, the state is looking at several billion, I think, to go into the whole state. Is there anything? that we
500
need-
million this round, 500 million.
500 million, okay, for the state, okay. So is there anything that we need to do to get the portion of that ready funding for various projects here? Are we required to have the redevelopment area for the county, like the city did? What do we need to do to qualify for those funds that we have not done?
Well, I don't know that there's anything we haven't done. I mean, we did on Ready 1.0, which was a learning experience, I think, for the state and for all the counties throughout Indiana.
Well, Chad got the money to do his project, but I don't think the county got anything out of that. Am I
Well,
correct?
that is correct. And we submitted a city project that was approved through Ready.
Right.
So 2.0 will
His
come,
music
there'll
set.
be a call for projects, just like there was in the first round.
Okay.
And when that happens, there's also a significant match, at least there was in the first round.
Okay.
And that right there is what separates the men from the boys, because if you don't have that match, and it was significant, as I recall, it was 4-1, or it was very significant. Then the project it basically folds on its own if the match isn't there. They really want participation from all the local counties, municipalities to come up with ways to help fund these projects, and they're going to kick in, a fifth?
Something like 25%.
Yeah, it really, I'm not cutting it down, it really sounds great at the beginning, but when you figure up the cost of a professional grant writer and then the match that goes with it, it's a lot of money. I mean, I came to, I think, a commissioner meeting last year asking the county to partner, and they did, along with the city, the foundation, and economic development group, to just pay for the grant writer, which was 30 grand, as I recall. It's just not your typical fill out some papers, and a lot of money involved.
Yeah, I just know that Rush County got quite a bit of funding for their dog food plant. Wayne County, Henry County got a huge amount of funding for various projects. And the city got funding, and that's all I heard about. So.
Yeah. I think we started with about 14 projects, Dale, as I recall. There was some city,
Something like
county.
that.
I think we threw one in, but they quickly go away if the match is not there. And there's a grading system too. They have to be graded. They have this thing that Market Square Plaza, I believe, is what is being called. It checked every box from the state's perspective, and it was funded to the maximum, a little beyond the other projects, because it checked every box. So I'm standing between you and adjourning the meeting. Is there any other questions? I don't want to delay it unless you've got a good question for me. Thank you, Vivian, for your question.
Oh, that's okay.
Anything else?
Anybody have anything else for Dan? Thank you for that report, Dan.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anybody have any mail want to share?
Nope.
Jeff, you got any mail for us?
I do.
Okay. I will share, I don't have it in the form of mail, but I have just yesterday I got a hold of a piece of good news that the rural broadband project that Charter Communications has been working on in Union and Franklin County has finally crossed the county line. And Bill McDaniel went down to Ott Road yesterday and green tagged their very first electric service to power that rural broadband service that is moving into the county. So I think yesterday we've activated about 40 locations in the Bear Creek neighborhood and Ott Road. And if that's not rural broadband, I don't know what is. So you can't even get a phone signal down in there. So they have made it into that neighborhood. They're expanding on further north. They're working right now down on Everton Road, burying conduit. And so this project is over a year behind, by my calculation, but they finally finished up in the other counties and they're moving in here, and it's going to move pretty rapidly. So the rural broadband project from Charter Communications has finally arrived. So I'm really happy about that. Okay, enough of that. Do you have anything under new business?
Yes, I have something that Jaleesa Bates, our grant writer, administrator for the county and for the city, met yesterday with a few of us and shared about an opportunity for a grant that she wanted it to be made public, and also encourage people to contact her because it's a turnaround on this grant. It's through the family Division of Mental Health and Addiction, which is through the Indiana Family and Social Services. Things need to be turned in quickly, so she has requested a deadline to her by this Friday, February 10th. And she says you can contact her by phone for questions that you may have. Her number, she said to give out, is 765-222-1310. And this is in reference to the name of this grant. It's a 2-year grant, and it's called the RFF grant.
Okay, and who all is eligible?
The eligible people are those who have received matching funds from the National Opioid Settlement, the American Rescue Plan, or ARPA, local general funds, private contributions, philanthropy, and even other is listed on the actual form. So that's why if you have questions, you really should speak with Jaleesa, because she has good understanding of this grant.
Okay. Anybody got any questions for Tracy on this opioid grant settlement? Got anything else to add?
Well, as we had discussed, I know a lot of people have been inquiring about the opioid settlement because we haven't made our decision yet on that for this year. It's something that we are talking about, and just so people know, hopefully by our next meeting, we may have more information on that too, for us to know who's recipients of the grant funds for this year.
Yeah.
Or not grant funds, it's actually settlement funds.
This will be the beginning of the process. Okay. Does anyone have any patron concerns? That concludes our agenda, other than claims and payroll, unless you have anything else.
We're pay the claims and payroll.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve claims and payroll. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. This transit claim, Jane, is it?
You would sign right there where it says personal signature, and I'll fill in the rest for you.
Okay. There you go. That wraps it up.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you all very much.